Hey, I was thinking. So I wanted to come on here and share my thoughts. When I say that, I always chuckle because I am always thinking. Like, seriously, I know we all should be, but I'm always thinking about what it is that I can learn and share. And so I was on a Zoom call. I had a virtual doctor's appointment, and I figured since I'm on Zoom, why not come and talk to my people? And so I started thinking about what can I talk about? I don't even know what to talk about. And so I started thinking about yesterday. I braved the snowy weather here in Cleveland, where we had a lot of snow, and went to see Tiffany Cross. She was the keynote speaker at Case Western Reserve University's MLK celebration. And so that's my alma mater. And every year they have wonderful people. So I go to the program to see and hear what they have to say. But if you don't know who Tiffany Cross is, she's a journalist. She used to have a show on MSNBC called The Cross Connection. Wonderful, wonderful show. They weren't ready for her. Yeah, she was too much because she spoke truth to power for sure. And I miss her. But, when I found out she was coming to Case, I said, I got to go see her. And then when the weather came, I was like, if they record it, then maybe I'll stay home. But I'm glad that I decided to go. There were some good things that she talked about. I definitely believe her genius is when she's engaging with the audience and taking questions or whatnot. Like her personality is just, I love it. Her speech was good too. And there were things that she said that I wanted to share with you. And I'm not going to try to make this political. She is a political analyst. I'm not going to speak politics, although I'm voting blue all the way down because I refuse to let 45 into the White House. At least I'll do my part. I will say this to you, that voting is the only time that we're all equal because we all only get one vote. Do not squander your opportunity and not vote. And vote for the interests of not just yourself, but humanity, because it's at stake. Because if 45 gets in there, he's already told people what he's planning to do. He wants to be a dictator. He's going to get rid of everything and be the only person. We do not want to be a Russia. We don't want to be a China. That's my soapbox for for voting. But one of the things that she talked about is when they say for the people, we're included in that. A lot of times, people of color, Black and brown people, don't feel like we're part of the for the people because the way this nation is set up, the systems that are in place, they're not there for us to benefit from. They're there to keep us oppressed. And so I just wanted to remind you that you yourself are included in For the People. And because of that, we need to demand more from our country, from the countryman, and even ourselves. We have to do better. We have to do better because the way this world is set up right now, this nation, it's a mess. It's a mess. There's so much divisiveness that's going on, and we have to do better. Another thing that she talked about is that, typically people are not voting for a party. So when you think about Black people and think Black people are all Democrats, they're not. Some people vote independent, some vote Republican. But the thing is, people vote for harm reduction. So if they vote for whomever they think can reduce the harm that is upon their lives. And so we have to realize that when we all aren't harmed, the world benefits, not just this country, the world. We forget that we're all independent of one another. We're all interconnected. What happens to one will affect all of us. And so we should all want this place to be a better place, to get rid of the divisiveness. Now, mind you, there's some crazies that you just can't deal with. There's some mental people, and I'm talking about mentally crazy and to the extreme, that will never come together. But for those of us who are willing, we need to try to figure out a way to not be so divisive. When I think about January 6th, I would think that that would have been what would say 45 will never step in that office again. But it wasn't for some people. Even all the things he did before, which were horrible, it still did not say, he's not able to fulfill this role as president. But the insurrection and the words that comes out of his mouth should be enough to say this man needs not to be anywhere near the White House again. Yet he is still in the running. It's crazy to me, but I don't want to talk about him. I wanted to also talk because, the one thing we know is that hate is cannibalizing. And there's no place for hate. We all need to lead with love. But what I wanted to talk about, because this was something that really did stick out with me that she said, as Black people, we say we are the hopes and dreams of our enslaved ancestors. We say that all the time. But are we really the hope and the dream? And if we are the dream and the hope for the enslaved, then what are we hoping and dreaming for those to come after us? Because it's up to us to start affecting change for the future. And so we need to be a disruptor, right? We need to do things that are going to make us uncomfortable. Because when you're uncomfortable, that is when you grow. We all know that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. We've heard that quotation. But if you're doing something that doesn't make you uncomfortable, then you're doing it wrong. That is something that Tiffany talked about yesterday. If you're doing something that does not make you uncomfortable, you're doing it wrong. We all need to grow, stretch, evolve, be better, do better, so that we can have better for those who come after us. Yeah, I don't know what else she said that stuck out with me. Those were the notes that I had written down. What I do know is that we are better united. We are better united and not divisive. Yeah. So the people who are sane, the ones of us who actually think critically and are not being dumbed down by society, by social media, by whatever, we all need to come together to figure out how to make this place a better place. And I'm not, I don't want to be political, but when I listen to everything that's being said during this election season, and when people talk about Biden, like it would be great to have someone who's younger, yes, but we know that this is what's going to be presented to us. But he's not doing a bad job. Like he actually is doing a pretty good job. But the thing is that's not the message that's being put out there. I mean, just yesterday, he forgave a whole bunch of student debt for a lot of people, even though the Republicans have tried to block it every step of the way, even though they act as though or say that they care about people. But we see what's happening. When you're trying to ban books, that is the most ridiculous thing ever. As someone who is an author, and yes, I can say that because I've now written 3 books, with my 4th one coming probably next week. But as an author, but also as someone who reads, like it's just baffling to me that you just don't want people to learn about what has happened in this country or the plight of some people and what they've experienced. Do you think about that? Like how ridiculous that is? And the other part I'm going to leave on this one. The other part of the Republican Party that I don't like is that they try to hide under the guise of Christianity. There is absolutely nothing Jesus-like in what they do. Nothing. They are liars, deceptors. The fact that I just saw that DeSantis in Florida have gotten rid of DE&I, diversity. You can't help diversity. Diversity is what it is. The equity part, making it fair for everyone, that we're all at the same starting point. When we know that this world has not been designed that way, this nation, I should say, has not been designed that way, that there's as Black people, and I'm speaking as a Black person, so I'm not speaking of a person of color, I'm speaking for myself, that people always have an advantage. They are 10 yards in front of me in a 20-yard race. This is why you hear Black people say we have to work twice as hard just to have the same thing. The systems are set up that way. But, we just have to do better when it comes to equity and the fairness of it all. And inclusion, that's important too. But they've gotten rid of it in Florida. So what's to come next? If any of these people get in office on that side, like if you care about people, I don't see how you could even be on that side and listen to what they're saying. It's baffling to me, which I know, in that 2016 after election, I got rid of a lot of people on my timeline who were Trump supporters. And not that I don't like a diverse group of friends, but I could not get behind people who supported someone who I thought is evil to the core. I couldn't understand it. My psyche would not allow me to, and I didn't want to see that foolishness on my page. And so I figured for my own sanity, I had to let it go. But yeah, I just hope that we figure out a way where we can unite. I really do. So that is it. That is what I was thinking today. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. You probably will not see me this weekend again because I have things to do. And the first is starts with cleaning. So I need to start getting my house together, dust and vacuum and mop and all of that good stuff. But have a great weekend, and I will be back with you all at some point next week. All right, take care. Bye-bye.